Concrete examples is using specific examples to help you understand abstract ideas. So, for example, in world history, we talked about morality and ethical justice and talk about abstract ideas. So, how can you create real world examples, specific examples that demonstrate to kids what morality means, what ethical justice means? And so, by doing that, you can take something that is very vague and tough for kids to kind of grasp and give them specific things that allow them to make a connection to this abstract thing. So again, if you can provide specific examples, that helps. Have kids look through class materials for as many as they can find. Now, the other thing too with concrete examples is getting kids to kind of create their own. But again, when you look at memory and learning and elaboration, all those types of things, and the importance is what is the link between all of these examples? That's going to be kind of the key because that's that big picture. If you're talking about morality and you tell kids, well, it's the difference between right and wrong. Well, what are some different examples of moral issues that maybe we run into? For example, if you find $20 laying on the floor, what do you do with it when no one's around to pick it up? Do you and see you? Do you pick it up and take it, or do you turn it into the office? That's a moral situation that you can find yourself in, knowing the difference between right and wrong. So providing as many of those different kinds of examples as they can will help them link to this one main idea. Getting kids to share examples with friends. So another good example with this is trying to get my psychology kids to understand the difference between positive, negative reinforcement and punishment. And what I had them do is work in groups and come up with different situations in their lives where they were either positively reinforced or negatively reinforced, where they were positively punished or negatively punished. And then they could share those different examples with each other. And then I had them create their own. If you were to try and shape someone's behavior to be different, what are some positive, negative, either reinforcers or punishers that you would use? And they had to explain it. And again, I wasn't too worried about, whether I thought that was a good example or a bad example. I was more interested in their reasoning behind it. So that way I could see they understood the link between these different things. One of the other things to be careful of, and again, the textbook that we have misleads kids because one of the examples that they used in terms of punishment and reinforcement was wrong. And now that it's not necessarily bad that it was wrong, because what we could do is we could pick it apart and figure out why was it a bad example? Why did it not match what positive and negative reinforcement was? So in some ways, having that ability to say what it is and what it isn't is another way to help them because, again, that helps differentiate good examples from bad examples, and it helps them understand the concept a little bit better. And again, if you can sit back and you can throw out this concept of morality, and then kids can come up with their own scenarios or their own situations or their own examples, then it really is going to be most helpful and they've really learned it.